With that, we move on to our next presenter and next case, which is a presentation from Signify. How you increase operational excellence and customer experience with a SaaS sales configurator solution. For this presentation, we have Signify and we have Ralf de Greef, who is a tribe lead for market to order, and we also have the lead architect, Steven Hoppenbrouwer. They will present the solution and present how the SaaS sales configuration solution included guided selling functionalities has improved their current solution and what their future plans are with regards to cross-functional collaboration on the back-end side. So not only the front end and the quotation and configuration part, but also on the collaboration to have a single source of configuration on the back end to have a smoother cross-functional collaboration. And for this, I will have my two guests. I don't know if they are already there. Now I can see you. Welcome to the presentation, Ralf, and I hope that Steven is also there with you. So with this, I would like to. Now I can see both of you. Yeah, super. So I know Ralf and Steven for many years personally as well, and I'm looking forward for a very exciting presentation about your journey with the CLM. With that, I would like to hand over to you, Ralf.
Thanks, Sjeet. It's unfortunate that we could not be there in Denmark with you. As Sjeet already mentioned, my name is Ralf de Greef. I'm a tribe lead for the market order sales domain within Signify. That's the digital organization, which basically means that I'm responsible for all the application development, implementation, deployment, but also the support of all these applications. And with me I have Steven Hoppenbrouwers. Steven.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am the tribe architect for the space that Ralf is the tribe lead for. And I look after all the application selection and integration in this domain. So that includes CPQ.
Thank you, Steven. So going to the next slide. So first I want to tell something about, let's say, our company. So we are, and that's I would say the most important, we are number one in lighting. When it comes down to conventional lighting, LED lighting, but also connected lighting. So we have a turnover of around 7 billion euro measured last year. 37,000 employees covering 70 countries. And we also invest heavily in sustainability. So we became carbon neutral 2 years ago, and we are already fifth year in a row. We are in the ranking of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, even number one 2 years ago and the years before that. So we do a lot of different projects, as you can also see in these pictures. Just to highlight some of them. On the right-hand side, you see one of our new products, which is showing, let's say, a light solution where we are mimicking daylight. In the middle, also a new area, let's say, product that we already implementing at customers. It's Wi-Fi, so we basically enable internet via light connections. Which is quite useful in areas where the Wi-Fi is not strong enough, and is also very safe. And you also see some nice bridges that we lighted, like in the US, the Mississippi River Bridge. And at the bottom there was a Rothschild Foundation project where we lighted all the bridges in London. So if you look at our offers, then you can divide them into professional and consumer lights of solutions. Professional covers 70% of our portfolio. We have professional lighting products like lantern poles, like luminaires, like lamps. We also have professional lighting systems. We have, for instance, the Interact brand. Where you can, let's say, set up a solution within, for instance, an office that is completely connected. And we also have professional lighting services where we are maintaining and keeping, let's say, all lights on. For instance, in Buenos Aires, we have a contract that we will make sure that all the outdoor lighting keeps working. So we have a large maintenance contract over there. When it comes down to consumer, we obviously have the lamps that we sell in the retail stores, also luminaires. But we also have consumer smart home lighting solutions like Wiz. It's getting, let's say, popular and more popular. So it's increasing business every year for us. So I want to show you a movie about our company. Okay, please turn this on. So enough about our company. Let's talk about CPQ at Signify. To give you some history, so we started the implementation of Configit Quote in combination with Configit model back in 2016, and we started in the US. It took us around a year to implement the solution. Then we moved over to Europe. In 2017 and 2018, we implemented the solution in Greater China, and we finalized the global deployment in 2019, where we implemented the solution in LATAM, Canada, India, Turkey, and RCA. At that moment in time, we were reaching, let's say, the boundaries of the systems because we are talking about really a magnitude of data that we needed to. That is in our systems, and we faced some difficulties at that time. I will show you the magnitude of our implementation on the next slide. But that led us to take the decision to move to the SaaS because we want to make sure that let's say the system was capable of handling this load, that it was performing, and we really wanted to let it up to Configit to take care of everything. So we started the project somewhere in 2019, and then we also noticed that the current solution was not suitable to deal with the enormous load of data. So it took some time to work together with Configit to get this corrected. Let's say redesign the application to a point that it was scalable. And we implemented then the solution in 2021, at the end of 2021. And what we noticed before that, we really had a burning platform with a lot of issues, performance issues. But once we moved to the SaaS, this came to an end. We are now at a much better situation. We have a stable platform. And let's say our customers, our internal customers, our sales reps that are using the systems, but also our external agents are quite happy with the way that the solution is now performing. So if you look at what it means in terms of magnitude, so on the right hand side you see that we have two Configit quote environments, because we also have we had two SAP systems. We have another one, but Stephen will come back to that later on when we talk about next steps. One system we use globally, and one system we use in Europe, and then only for the professional market. And you see on the left-hand side of the table that we are talking really about a lot of products, a lot of customers. 25 million price records, around 90 sales areas, and a couple of thousand of product models. And that was, of course, new with working with this magnitude for Configit. But the good news is that we were able to work together and get this improved to a point that we have a quite high NPS at this moment in time. Next to, let's say, the data, the amount of data, there is also quite an extensive functionality that we have enabled in the solution. Over the years, that when we were implementing the solution in all these countries, we worked closely together with the products team of Configit, and we really made this an enterprise application. I'm not going to go into each and every functionality that is now part of the solution, but I will highlight a couple of them. One of them is data visibility, which we needed to implement for China, where they really would like to make sure that sales reps are not stealing their customers. So we needed to make sure that the access to data is restricted to a customer group and a district level. And this became part of the standard application. If you look at the quote functionality, I want to highlight the search, which we improved. We as a company have bought many different companies in the past. They have their own product IDs. These product IDs are known with our customers, and it's very difficult to harmonize those. So we have multiple identifiers for our products, and we have now a solution in place that we can easily find products based on all those identifiers. If you look at the SAP integration, when we create quotes in the Configured quote system, we have there our models. There is also the pricing is taken care of, but at the end, once the quote is finalized, approved, we send it towards SAP. And then you need to make sure that at the moment you go into an order and that some of these characteristics that you have selected in the model changes, then you need to have a mean to fetch that model. And at that moment in time, you are in SAP and no longer in Configit Quote. So in order to solve that, we created a punch out. So we just created an external configurator, which you can reach via SAP. And over there, we can just change the values and make sure that all the rules that are set in Configit model apply. Then if you look at pricing and approvals, Configit already had quite an extensive price engine and supporting most of the critical pricing features from SAP. But there were a couple that were not supported, like rebates. And we really needed that into our system in order to make sure that we could calculate our margins. So Configit enabled this, and we could use that and set this up. Approval process. If you look at the approval mechanism in Configit, that's really state of the art, I would say. Also because we as Signify have a lot of experience with what this means, an approval flow, especially when you work in countries like China, where they really have, they want to have multi-level approvals, multiple people approving the quotes in certain stages. So we worked closely together and we came up with a solution which I know is fulfilling almost all the needs. And that was also confirmed once we moved to other countries. We could easily support all the requirements that came up when it comes down to approvals. So yeah, we wrote down all the functionality and features that we nowadays have available, and it's really extensive. And yeah, again, now we are on the SaaS. It is also performing end to end, so we are really happy with this progress. Over to you, Steven.
Yeah. So we have finalized over the years, you could say finalized, there's always more functionality that people want, of course. But we are continuing to improve. But there is now also a new chapter starting in Signify, and the chapter is triggered because we bought quite a large company in the US called Cooper Lighting Solutions 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I can't remember. And we need to replace, and that's the part what I want to talk to you about. We want to migrate the existing Cooper Lighting quoting application engine to Configit Quote and to Configit Ace. And that's something that is also forward-looking for us as a whole from a Signify perspective, because today we are using Configit Model for our modeling practice, and we want to ultimately also move to Configit Ace for the other implementations. As you can see on the picture here, you see 2 instances that Ralf already showed. One for the global PR4 instance and one for the European instance. And we're now adding another Configit Quote instance to the family, which is on the right-hand side, and that's connected to another SAP backend. I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with Configit, but you need, in order to maintain consistency from a process and data perspective, you need to attach a Configit instance to one single SAP backend. That makes sense because of the data model that is part of that. So we're at the start of implementing this Configit Ace modeling environment, the Configit Ace platform, connected to Configit Quote instance, and that is then in turn connected to the backend system. And what is important, and that is showing in the next picture, that you can see over here, it's not only, and that's the difference that we have seen, or we are seeing that across the board. Today, we are really focusing in Signify on the quote capability as an internal activity and the configuration that goes with that. So people are requesting with us a certain configuration. Somebody inside the company is going to make that configuration, and then it goes into the backend for fulfillment. And what we have seen now as an evolution, and it sounds a bit silly because I know a lot of companies already have this. A lot of companies that are comparable to ourselves, our competition, they already have, for instance, an online configuration engine. Integrated or not, I don't know. But they do have something on the internet that allows them to configure a product. We don't have that, which sounds weird because a lot of our products are configurable, as you've seen in the numbers. And also our business is asking for it from many different angles. So what you can see in this picture, and this is the architecture that we in the end also will start supporting for all the other applications, but we're starting out with our newly acquired company, Cooper, is to create a setup with the Configit Ace model, Configit Ace platform, which will expose an API that allows you to configure a product from the outside world, but it can also be from our inside B2B commerce environment that you can see here on the left-hand side. To configure a product, put it in your shopping cart, and then request a quote for it, or order it straight away. It can also be a use case where you order a configurable product right off the bat. And in this case, you can also see on the right top side the external system that allows a customer to integrate with us through our API gateway to configure a product in their own system and then place an order or a quote for it. So that flow, that end-to-end flow, we want to enable. And this is something that we see as, the next step that we want to bring to our business as additional functionality. And we believe that with the Ace platform and the SaaS supported CPQ, we have a very good combination of applications that for now and in the future will give us this additional capability. And while maintaining, and that's important, I think, the end-to-end integration from SAP into Configit, configure your product, and what you send back into SAP is always going to be a valid configuration. And it doesn't require any additional manual intervention to make sure that everything is set in the right way. So that's always been the goal, a single source of truth for all the data, the structured data coming out of SAP, the rules in Configit, and then the consumption side, if you will, configuring on the B2B commerce side, configure from your own system, or configure something from your website. That will all be part of that future architecture. That's all I have for now.